Well, hello everyone, my name is Mild Madi and welcome back to my survival series. Where was I? I was skiing. There's not a ton of snow, actually there's next to nothing, but well, I like skiing and I tried to have some fun outside, which is not usual for me, so yeah. That's the story, but we're back to Minecraft. Last episode we made this thing, a big plateau of nothingness, basically, and I am planning to change that today, not today, but in this episode. I hope. I might be crazy. But firstly, materials. We need tons of blocks for all of the building we're going to build and create here in this harbor. But I think I will start at sorting out this mess. As I said in the last episode, I want to have a building here, specifically a harbor crane, but not one of those big metal thingy that you see these days. Oh no. This is not the style we're going for. I will actually try to build a medieval one, and my inspiration will be the one in Gdańsk in Poland. There you have some pictures. I want to recreate it fully like we did in Moszna Castle, but that's not what I want to do. I want to keep the overall feeling of it, if you know what I mean. So let's get some materials. Well, that was a quick introduction. So yeah, I went skiing, it was fun. The conditions aren't great here in Poland for that kind of activity, but I tried to enjoy that as much as I could, basically. I spent some time with my friends and, sometimes it's hard to just come back and build a whole harbor in one sitting. So I was basically procrastinating, not gonna lie. Also, I wasn't feeling that well, so I just wanted to do something brainless, like chop some trees and collect one type of block. I also smelted all of my copper. That was like 2 double chests of raw copper, and that took me 2 days. Yeah. And I also organized my deep slate and stone blocks. Yeah, I was procrastinating. I am stuck here. I tried this method with placing copper on top of oxidized one, but I don't know. You can let me know if I'm doing something wrong in the comments, cause maybe I don't understand it, but it's not working for me. But besides that, this flat area is actually great for aging copper. Just look. Okay, the amount is giving me anxiety, and it's what? Maybe like a third of the copper I got? Well, let's not overthink it and let's get to collecting the aged ones. So you thought I was going to cut this out? Nope. This is our life now. Okay, I am done. I mean, not completely, but this is the last portion of copper blocks and I can't wait any longer. I am going to start building this crane and I got some materials here, like some stones, wood, some more decorating blocks that were laying around in my storage, and yeah. Once again, I am basing this build on the Żuraw in Gdańsk. Try to say that 10 times faster. Żuraw in Gdańsk, Żuraw in Gdańsk, Okay, I am seriously losing my mind here. It's not going to be the same, but kind of similar. Maybe we'll see. Okay, let's get to building. Did I tell you I'll be winging this one? Yep, I have no plan, no schematic. That's going to be fun. Okay, let's go! So I tried to keep it simple with 2 towers on the sides, and I was working with a very limited space, so it wasn't easy to keep everything like in great proportions. But here you see me struggling to make a nice curve to the arm, but I gave up and made the roofs of the towers. And yes, I decided to go with blue. And I plan to make many buildings with bluish roofs. That's why I needed so much copper, but oh look, the arm is done and it looks pretty good. I just placed some dark oak in hopes it would look good and it kind of makes sense. I am not sure about the hook part though, but it was good for that moment. In the back I kept it with the same sort of style, stony walls and blue roofs. I really tried to mix some tough and mossy stones to make it look like it was deteriorating and overgrowing because of all of the damp and water, and it kind of worked. Here it is. It's, simple but effective. I like this curve I made. I connected it nicely to the higher level and I'm proud of that. And I'm going to make more buildings with those kind of bluish roofs to match more to the 1000 days build we got there. Just don't go inside. And I also make this thing here, a pile of stuff. We're going to make more of those all around the place. Okay. I am feeling the anxiety growing in me because I realized how big of a project it would be to fill this whole place up within one episode. So I made a decision not to make a whole thing today. wow. Instead, I would like to go back to smaller steps, like maybe 2 or 3 buildings, and just take it easy. Sometimes you might feel overwhelmed by the project, and that's okay, you know, just step back, take a breath, and take things step by step. That was deep. I needed that. Okay, back to business. So the first building. So it's been a while after that last clip. I prepared myself some materials, but the most important thing is that I moved all of the not aged copper blocks here so they won't bother me. But you know what? This one is pretty done. But there are 2 blocks in particular that are standing there from the beginning, so it has been a lot of hours and didn't age a single bit. So I left them just for the curiosity. We'll see at the end of this episode. I'm going to focus on this general area. You can see that this stone walkway is dividing the place, going from staircase to another staircase, and I'm going to work here. And I think I'll be able to fit like 3 buildings in here, but still leaving the space to walk around them, I hope. I have some empty shulkers because I am sure I will need them while decorating, and loads of different blocks that I think might get handy while building and decorating. Basically everything I got in storage that I thought might be useful. Also stones, moss and prismarine. I had to get some black dye beforehand. Loads and loads of wood, more stones and copper. This will be enough for today for sure, but for the future? I doubt it, but that's not today's problem. So the copper is aging and we need to mark out the buildings. Do you see what I see? 3 future buildings. We have a walkway all around them, and this rectangle will be the first, very narrow one, a little wider second, and a third one. We need to focus on decorating them because they are the front ones, so we'll be looking at them a lot. And let's take a different approach than the usual time-lapse. I saw Smallish Beans do that thing where the camera is stable and he's just building and talking, so let's try something like that. So for the first building, I decided to go with very contrasty colors. I used spruce wood and brown terracotta as the outlines and calcite and white concrete powder for the actual walls. And as you can see, it's going to be very narrow, but it's purely for aesthetics, not for function. When it comes to the side wall that overlooks the sea, I needed to make something interesting, so I made 1 smaller and 2 larger windows. You'll see why I skipped the 4th window a little bit later. And then it was time to decorate it, make it more interesting, and I was kind of winging this part. Firstly, I made a non-symmetrical roofing with lighter outlines and just a single support beam. On the higher floor, I went with a simple balcony, and then I decided to move the top floor forward for some depth. And I added a higher roof, also using darker blocks. Then it was time to add windows, some signage action, barrels, campfires, and basically everything I thought was fun and interesting. Oh, and this little azalea bush for some color. When it comes to the side wall, I also added windows and I decorated the wall kinda on the floor levels. I was kinda going with it, adding more trapdoors and fences, but on the part with no window, I made a small roofing for keeping some more storage outside, maybe so it won't get wet when it's raining or something. You know, making it alive. So I added barrels, hay bales, lanterns, and again, a little azalea bush. When it goes for the second front, because you can basically access it from both sides, so it's not a back, I don't know. I also kept the same style, and I made it a little bit more interesting by adding a bigger balcony on the top to sit, relax, and watch some waves. Then it was time to finish the roof. I used a gradient of different wood types, so spruce, oak, and birch on the top. It kind of looks like chocolate. I don't mind it. On the other side, I made it more fun. I added this funky chimney and I made it from stone. Here it is. A very narrow and lonely house, but I like it, especially with this chimney. We got some beeps and bobs all around the place, but I'll show you that already. But, yep. Let's don't talk about this, okay? On the side, I made this little storage because it's always raining here, so I thought it will be a good idea to make with roofing here. And from this side, we can actually go inside, but there's no point of doing that because there's nothing there. And I didn't decorate that side because we're going to have another building very close. So I didn't want anything to interfere with the small walkway I hope I'll be able to create here. And after I made that building, then we're going to fill it up with different stuff. Okay, time for the second build. It's this rectangle here, and it's wider than the previous one. There's 7 blocks. Not 5. And I have already prepared some materials, as you can see. This one I think maybe to make a little bit lighter with stripped spruce and oak, but also with white walls. Okay, there's nothing more to it than to get started. This time I decided to finish each side in one clip. So I made one higher side that is 3 blocks wide and smaller but wider second part. I just wanted to keep it more interesting. And I mixed some packed mud into the spruce outlines and it kind of works. I also decided to go with stripped oak walls to break down this whiteness of calcite and concrete powder. I also added a small roofing and loads of leaves, because why not? You cannot go wrong with some bushes. This is a very unfortunate angle, but that's the best I could do to show you what I'm doing. But let's be honest, it's nothing too crazy on this side. Brown and white. But I added some more yellow bamboo trapdoors for some contrast. The same with the ocean view side, nothing too crazy, pretty similar side to the front one, but don't worry, if there is not enough decorations right now, we can always add them later. And again, I tried to keep those side walls pretty clean to add some bushes and random stuff laying around later on. And the roof, just copper blocks in 2 different stages with spruce outlines, plus some glow lichen for light. Here it is. I love it. This whole area is going to be so cool, guys. Just look at this side view. Love it. As you can see, it's much more overgrown. Maybe it's older than the first one. I don't know. We have this storage with some signage, action, barrel, and as always, we don't talk about the inside. The side, as usual, not very interesting yet, because there will be one more building next to it right here. And for the front, now as I look at it, I would like some more bushes. Oh, no, not here. Oh, you can never go wrong with some leaves. And maybe some more here. Yep, great. And as for the small walkway, we have some space to put some more stuff in here, but we will work with it when we finish the third building, I think. So let's just don't waste time and start making the third building. It will be darker like the first one, but instead of white walls, we're going to add stripped oak and stone. So yeah, let's get to work then. As I said, darker outlines, stony first floor and stripped oak for the second floor. This house is more interesting because I decided to add a second floor, but you will see later what I mean. I added a small triangular roof and a little balcony overlooking the harbor. Also, I tried to fiddle around with some different details, so this house is amethyst themed. Like, I don't know, someone who is selling those stones is living here. I figured it might have sense because, you know, amethyst can be expensive, so that seller has the house with one of the best views on the sea. And this is what I tried to achieve, like small different stories to all of those houses, so this place would have this feeling of being alive, even though I am alone here. But yeah, I added one more extra floor on the back half of the building, or front half, I don't know. Basically, it's asymmetrical and therefore more interesting. On this side, I made a bigger balcony overlooking the sea. And when it comes to the roof, here we have a nice gradient from dark prismarine to oxidized copper. And also I added a similar style chimney to the one of the first house. Okay, I am in love. It's going to be so exciting to fill this whole place. Just look at this view. You walk up the stairs and you see that house, and then you walk here with all of these buildings on the left and just see the view. And the same here, we can go all around down this path. Love that. And you can actually go inside. And there's some space. Lovely. But that's not the end. We'll still have to decorate a little bit more, especially those walkways in between buildings. They are empty and there's so much possibility to make it alive. So let's fill it out together, shall we? So we're going to put some stuff here. So let's get hay bales, like 3. Let's put some signs to like keep it together. And then some storage barrels, but maybe there. And then we'll have a composter. Then a fence. You can never go wrong with fences. And a campfire. That's good for now. Now this side. And I would like to maybe have another composter in the corner. And then a fireplace? No, a barrel and then a pot with an azalea in front of the window. We have 2 of those here already, so it's going to match the aesthetics. And something like that. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, next. Barrel, and fireplace? Okay, how are we looking? Okay, that's nice, but some more light will be nice. I have an idea. Let's dig maybe like here. We need a fireplace and a trapdoor. And now once in a while there will be some smoke coming out, like from sewers maybe. Imagine, it's all about the movement. And maybe let's go with some iron bars and banners as some, I don't know, maybe laundry hanging in the sun to dry out. I don't know. People are living here, so why not? Now that's nice and full and it's looking alive. Okay, to the next one. Okay, let's start with some storage and hay bale with trapdoor for some, height difference. And pot, why not? On the right side, we also are going to have some barrels and maybe a composter, but full. Let's make it full. Yes. Banner, fence, and let's put a barrel, but a little bit higher. As for the fact that I am placing random blocks, I really like it. I got an odd idea. What if we destroy this part of the roof and then we're going to put some fences, like some, hanging wires for the laundry. And now we need some banners hanging of them. You know what I need? More bushes. It's hard to describe what I'm doing, but it kind of works. Okay, let me just fiddle around with that off camera and I'll be right back. I played around with different blocks and I am in love. I changed some blocks on the floor and I placed those stone pressure plates for some more depth and variety. They're going to make some strange sounds, but I don't care. But as you walk here, you can see I added more of those piles of stuff laying around. A bigger one here, a smaller, and I also integrated some tough and smooth basalt in the floor because, the wet laundry is hanging and dripping on the floor and the floor gets more wet, which usually means it gets darker. Oh, and also here under this cauldron. It just makes sense in my head, at least. Okay, the final test. How does it look with shaders? Okay, it's very light because the sun is very high in the sky, but not too shabby, I would say. Yes. I don't know what it is, but it really gives me some good vibes and inspiration. I would really like to build some more, but that's not in this episode. God, I really love it. And those are only 3 houses. Please let me know what do you think. I would love to hear your opinion. And I am happy to say that those 2 blocks did indeed oxidize. But unfortunately, that would be it for today's episode. I would love to keep going, but I really need to add something to my channel because I haven't been uploading videos in a while. So thank you all for watching and sticking around. If you enjoyed this episode or builds, leave a like and subscribe. It would really help this channel a lot. Make sure to leave a feedback. I always read all of the comments and I will see you in another one. Bye!